Atomic Heart just came out and looks really cool. I went ahead and bought it and finished the story, so now I can let you know if the game is as good as it looks. If you'd like to see some gameplay, check out the live stream here. From the trailers, I got a Russian Bioshock vibe, and I was really excited to check it out. So stick around, find out how good this game really is, and where it belongs on my bar.
Comrade Sechenov is expecting you, Agent P3. I've been...
Atomic Heart takes place in an alternate timeline, in a prospering Soviet Russia harnessing the power of robots and advanced technology, making life better for everyone. I played Agent P3, a war veteran who had suffered brain damage and amnesia, working for the man behind the greatest technological advances in robotics and education. But something snaps for the robots, suddenly turning on their human masters, killing everyone around them. It's up to P3 to figure out what happened and how to stop it, all while trying to survive the never-ending onslaught of murderous machinery. And maybe discover some of his lost memories, huh?
Our ascent is once again continuing.
Holy shit. Where did all these monsters come from?
I'm gonna say no. It definitely earned its PEGI 18 rating. The game can get very graphic at times, with body parts and viscera flying everywhere. And it doesn't seem like anybody can get through a sentence without a few F-bombs or other colorful words. I'd recommend playing without the kids around, lest they learn some obnoxious new words you wouldn't like to hear them use.
30 seconds until what?
30 seconds until we're fucked, sonny boy. Royally fucked.
Unfortunately, we don't have any codes. You'll have to try to decipher it.
First off, I want to say I thought this game was going to be far more action than it actually was. There were so many puzzles in this game, like a lot. Some of the puzzles were fun and unique. There was obviously a lot of work put into them, but they turned out feeling more like a chore than anything. Some of the worst puzzles involved moving back and forth in the same area multiple times. Even if I were to explore and pick everything up, I wouldn't find that key item I needed until I was told to find it. I mean, it wasn't so bad that I had to search. There is a tracker that led me from destination to destination. But I feel like a lot of time was wasted. It's so bad the main character even complains. So the developers are obviously aware of the insanity.
Who the hell came up with all this shit? I'm sick to death of shoving balls into tubes.
We're doing this so we can leave the Vavilov complex.
Why can't I just, I don't know, walk out a regular door?
There was combat in between all the backtracking. P3's arsenal included melee weapons, guns, and Charles, talking noodles in his glove. They harness polymer for special abilities in and out of combat. There were a few different melee weapons to fight with, offering different attack speeds and strengths. I didn't care much for the melee combat. There is a dodge that helps mitigate damage a little, but I seem to get hit way too much when I had to fight with my axe. Fighting with guns was much more effective, albeit a little boring. Guns were powerful and took out most enemies in just a few shots, but there was ammo to worry about, and that's a whole other subject. I was impressed with the polymer abilities used in combat, though. They were used to temporarily stop enemies with a shock or lift them into the air with telekinetic powers. Honestly, they were more of a utility than a combat thing. The story of Atomic Heart takes P3 through different compounds full of puzzles and enemies, with an open-ish world in between. The world outside was large, and with enemies everywhere, including some that would just rebuild robots, so the robots were never-ending. I hated moving around outside. I spent most of my time running away from the hordes of robots trying to get me. There are cars that can be used to move faster, but they didn't handle that great. The life of a car was short, easily destroyed after a few hits, and the car would drift like crazy if I turned a little hard, causing a crash into a ditch I could not drive out of, or slamming into a wall, killing my car immediately. When looking at the map, I couldn't put a mark on a destination I would like to go to. I had to look at the map and kind of orient myself in a direction I wanted. There was no compass on the HUD either, making it even tougher. Outside, there were places called test areas, where I could explore and find specific blueprint upgrades for my weapons. I honestly didn't care to explore any. I tried getting into one, but I don't know if I was either too dumb to get in, didn't have the right skills, or the game was bugged, so I didn't explore a single one, and it didn't seem to have a negative effect on my game. So, as I mentioned, blueprints. They're needed to make new weapons and upgrades. This is all done at a crafting station named Nora. Nora is a very, very carnal robot, whose desires are a little much. The interactions between Nora and P3 were funny, but extremely inappropriate.
I love it when you get angry. Yes, yes! Scold me, punish me. I was a bad girl.
So, back to crafting. The menu wasn't hard to follow, but felt clunky. Crafting a weapon or item was easy enough, but when it came to upgrading, there was a lot of clicking back and forth required. Almost like drilling down through too many subfolders to get what I wanted. This was also where my stash was located. When my bags were full, everything I picked up automatically ended up here. I could move things in and out and even disassemble some items for more materials if needed. The materials needed for crafting could be found on the corpses of the various enemies or looted from the plethora of boxes, drawers, and cabinets scattered everywhere. Sometimes it felt like that was all I was doing for 10 minutes, looking through room after room for all the little goodies I could possibly carry. I was surprised to find how much humor was put into this game. It's overall a serious game, but there were quite a few jokes in the dialogues. Some of it was okay, but most of the time it didn't quite land right. But that could be on me. Maybe it's Russian humor I just don't quite understand. It just felt like the writing could use more work. There was a scene. A lot was going on. I was fighting mutants, trying to solve a puzzle, and in the middle of it, P3 decided it was a good time for a cigarette. It most certainly was not time to relax and have a smoke. But lo and behold, suddenly, we needed something to ignite a pile of explosives.
Yeah! Die, you prick!
Overall, it just felt a little forced, that's all I'm saying. One of the few redeeming qualities of Atomic Heart was the fact that Mick Gordon was involved. He is an amazing composer. If you don't know, he's the mastermind behind the awesome Doom music and a lot more. There were a couple tracks here that had some heavy Doom inspiration. They were awesome, but didn't quite feel like they fit the current situation. The game overall just felt boring. Sure, there were a few action sequences, but I honestly got tired while playing. A lot of it felt like a chore, and the characters weren't very engaging. Some of the attitudes felt like they came out of nowhere, like suddenly aggressive for no apparent reason. I'm gonna have to throw this on my bottom shelf. Oh, whoops. Got a little carried away there. Bottom shelf. If you feel like you really want to try this game out, I would strongly recommend waiting for a sale or possibly part of a subscription plan like Game Pass. I didn't enjoy my time with it. And hey, if you made it to this point, hit that like and sub for more in the future. I'm done here and moving on to the next one. I will see you there. Bye!